Natasha Geiling of ThinkProgress. Just a slight aside before we go any further. What's it like covering one of these things? I mean, I assume the negotiations take place behind closed doors, and yet a lot of people have come to Paris. What's the environment like? What do you do? What do you see when you're covering a conference like this?
Yeah, so a lot of the talks do happen behind closed doors, but there's a lot going on both in Paris proper and then out at Le Bourget, which is where the talks themselves are happening. And that's a suburb if you're on the metro, it's about an hour outside of town proper. And, in Paris, I've seen art installations that are going on. I've seen a lot of signs all around town talking about the COP. There are award ceremonies happening that honor various, innovators in sustainability, innovators in citywide initiatives, and then out at the COP itself, it's split off even further into three sections. So there's the actual negotiations area that's limited to people with UN credentials, and then there's an outside area that's open to civil society, where a lot of participants like NGOs or organizations such as that set up stands, and then there's a gallery of innovations, people showing off their best ideas for what the future is going to look like, low carbon agriculture projects, low carbon energy projects, things like that. There's a lot going on, and covering I wish I had clones of myself. There's, tons going on. I wish I could be in two places at once, but
Yeah, I'm sure. And it sounds, frankly, I mean, despite the gravity of the situation and the concerns, it sounds like it could also be a lot of fun.
yeah, there is an air of kind of levity to it, which is nice. They're at the Generations Climate Space, which is the kind of civil society part of the talks, which is where I was all day today. There was music, there's, different cafes and people eating and people talking and people milling around. And I mean, it's really thousands of people have come to Paris for this, and Paris has been waiting a long time to put these talks on. And so I think there's a real kind of air of a culmination and almost a celebration, in a way that the talks are happening.